Time now for tips as you age. You know, hospice is a scary word for a lot of people, but it's also something we should learn and prepare for. Carolyn Richardson from PACE Guide to Senior Housing and Robert Lathler, a PACE sponsor, is here with more. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, why don't we talk about hospice? A lot of people kind of know of the word, they're kind of afraid of it. Explain what it is, Carolyn.
Unfortunately, it is. It has a bad stigma. The word hospice is so scary for people, and it doesn't need to be. The misconception is that hospice is for somebody who's immediately or actively dying, and it's not just for those people. There are so many benefits that people can have when they're in a general decline, possibly nearing the end of life, that they miss out on when they wait too long to receive those benefits. And those benefits, it's a huge medical management team that comes into a patient's home or a loved one's home, offering nursing, aides, chaplain services, social work, a whole dynamic of a team to give them the most comfort and care when going back and forth to the hospital or aggressive treatment is no longer an option.
Yeah, and what about choice? When people, do they have a choice with hospice care?
Absolutely. There are a multitude of hospices in the Valley, and unfortunately, a lot of times when somebody is needing hospice, an agency is just sent into their room and they're not offered the choice. I like to empower people to do their homework. There's more than one hospice in Arizona, and they can do their research and find those hospices that do the above and beyond care that is needed at that time of life.
Yeah, and Robert, why don't you let us know, what sets you guys apart from others?
That's a good question. From our inception forward, our parent organization, Centrix Health Resources, was about adding services to be a home care solution. And since 1982, and I've been with them for a decade, we've added services to include hospice. And when someone comes to us for assessment, we're not just looking at them for a cookie cutter or a Band-Aid or one style of approach for the individual's need or the family's need. We're assessing them for what they actually need. And so it may be home health, it may be hospice, it may be place and assistance, it may be private duty, but all those things are looked at in the assessment. And what's nice about Reflections Hospice is we're tied into that organization from one patient's assessment, one family's assessment forward. It's always individual, and we find what they need instead of bringing to the table just what we have to offer. And from that assessment, I believe we're the premier hospice in Arizona because of the way we're partnering in with Centrix Health Resources and the whole process of being the final home care solution.
Yeah, and I know you're really compassionate about this issue and to others.
Absolutely. Hospice is a missed benefit because of that fear. And our medical director will say that most people do so much better on hospice care than not getting onto hospice care when they need it.
And how can PACE help?
So a PACE care coordinator can help find different hospices in the Valley that they could possibly interview. We can help guide them with specific questions to ask those hospices to find the best suited hospice for their need.
Yeah, and of course you have the PACE magazine you can look at. You can call a care coordinator. You can do all of that and more. To learn more about, of course, PACE or Reflections, you can go online. You can go to seniorhousing.org or you can call the number on your screen.